right, so we're talking about Rayan Rupert.
I want some nasty. Are we having fun yet?
All right, so this should be a pretty quick video because my thoughts on him is it's not much to really say. All right, so Rayan Rupert. So we're just gonna dive into it like we always do. We'll look at the stats, and then I'll give you my overall take on him as a player, my pros and cons, and then we'll see what the professionals have to say about it. Scouting live. Once again, I have not seen anything that they have to say, so I'll go into that blindly. And if I missed anything, I'm sure they will correct me. So statistics, stats. Nothing to get super excited about. So first and foremost, just keep in mind that he's played in a league that the NBL created for young talent. So he's only 18 years old. Okay, so keep that in mind. But he's amongst players that play with super young people, and you know he's still developing. So it's no knock on him necessarily. But statistic wise, it's nothing to get super excited about. I'll just be honest with you. So overall, he averaged about nearly 6 points per game. Percentages really bad offensively. I mean, really bad. We got 35% field goal percentage, during this span, that is. And then we have 3-point percentage is 23. Yeah, not great. Okay. So as far as shooting, we'll get into all that. Okay. But as far as shooting, that is not his forte. We're looking at steals. This is a little misleading, but we can see that he averaged about a steal per game. So overall, when you just look at his stats, there's nothing really to talk about, nothing to really harp on. So we can just move on from there. So I'll just give you my overall thoughts about Rayan Rupert. So defense. That's it. All right. So if you guys like the video, please, but seriously, no, it's merely defense. Every other aspect of his game, like I know that quite a few people have said like, oh, he's a really good playmaker, which I don't necessarily disagree with. But he's good in the open court as far as playmaking for his teammates in the fast breaks. In that regard, he's good around screens as well. He makes the right reads, but it's nothing necessarily there that's like stupid impressive or something gets like highly excited about playmaking wise. So I wouldn't expect him to come into the league and as time goes on, like, oh, he can be the primary playmaker. Probably not. But he does have a little bit to his game. Him being so young, it's fine or whatever. Also, shooting. So I already talked about this. Really bad shooter. I mean, really bad shooter. His catch and shoot isn't good. His creating for himself isn't good. Even when it comes to like driving, he has nice touch, decent touch, but he can't really finish through contact. So he's going to have to build a little bit of muscle there. So it's a lot of work to do when it comes to scoring the basketball. But I will say this, he doesn't have a jump shot that just seems completely broken by any means. Okay. It actually has a lot of fluidity to it. It has a lot of arc. So it is a nice looking jump shot. And I think that if he goes to the right team and they can tweak it, he'll be totally fine. But yeah, the percentages don't lie. He is not the best of shooters. But he wasn't even the best player on his team. But with that being said, totally fine. Whatever. He can work on that. But defense. His defense is elite. So when you're seeing a lot of people talk about like, oh, could he go 8th? Could he go 9th, 10th in this? I'm pretty sure that's the reason. I mean, his defense is top notch. I mean, you do not get better than his defense. He can guard basically 1 through 3, maybe 4. I would be a little hesitant to say that in the NBA, but he can definitely guard 1 through 3. He's a point of attack defender. We don't get a ton of those. So he's really good at being disruptive, really good at utilizing his length. He has like a 7'3" wingspan. So he'll get the ball. And a lot of times he gets steals or makes the play on the ball in spots that he had no business being. Like he's so lengthy and so quick that he will steal the ball and you thought it was a wide open man, maybe in the corner and whatnot. So really impressive defensively. And I will give him that. That is where a lot of his value comes from, defense. And like I said, in the open court, he can play make a little bit. I don't think that he's like bad or even mediocre, maybe slightly above mediocre as far as playmaking. But yeah, really good defensively, and that's kind of where that's where I see his value. And I am a sucker for defense, so there's that. All right, so let's go ahead and look at the pros and cons here. So let's see. Pros: decent shooter. I don't agree, but sure. Decent scorer off the dribble. I don't agree. Adequate playmaker. I think that's a good adjective for that. Decent defender that can rack up steals. I don't agree with this. Decent defender. I think he's elite defender. What? Yeah, I think he's a really good, not just a decent defender. Are you serious? We're using the same adjective for his shooting as we're doing with his defense. Get out of here, dude. I don't agree with this. Very good athlete. Yeah, pretty good athlete. Cons: streaky shooter. Yeah, prone to hoisting up questionable shots. I don't know about that. It seems like most of his games where he puts up like very questionable shots is like late in the shot clock or whatever. I don't know about that one. Not an elite rebounder. It's actually something we didn't focus on. Let's see. Rebounding, total rebounding. Yeah, I mean, he's 6'6", 7'3", but that's 7'3" wingspan. Yeah, he probably could be a little bit better. But I think that probably comes down to his size as well. You know, build a little strength and he'll be able to box out a little better. Can be undisciplined defensively. Are we talking about the same player? We are talking about, when was this updated? This is updated in, really? Okay. All right. Must get stronger. I agree. I said that. Rayan Rupert is a agile, skilled swingman that excels at making hustle plays to help his team on both ends of the floor. He can ably create his own shot to score off the bounce, and he also will get steals at a high rate. On the downside, he can sometimes struggle with his jumper, and he can tend to make bad gambles and be out of position defensively. He recently signed on to play in the NBL, and Rupert played really well in all 3 games that he played in the NBL Blitz. Oh, okay. Are they basing him off of this? They're basing him off of these 3 games? They're basing him off of these 3 games. I cannot. Are you seriously going to base him off of these 3 games? Because if I was going off of that, then I would have said, oh, yeah, guys, he shot 48% field goal percentage, and he had a 63% three-point percent. Get out of here. And he averaged 15 points. Get out of here. Like, yeah, this is impressive, but I'm not basing off of those 3 games. That's crazy. That's crazy. All right, anyways. He has improved his outside shot significantly. It was 3 games. Okay, this is a bad take. I think this is a bad take. This is actually the first time I've just blatantly disagreed with Scouting Live. This is the one where I'm just going to blatantly disagree. I think it'll take more than 3 games to come to that conclusion, but he did play well in those 3 games, but that's silly to me. Anyways, getting out of here. If you guys want to support the channel, as always, man, clanthemerchfan.com or become a Patreon or YouTube member, only $2 a month, link in the description. I give it to you guys later. Yeah, bye.